All right, so let's just keep rolling it out. J.J. Watt, he potentially could be released or traded this offseason. He doesn't seem to be happy in Houston either. He's already told Houston he doesn't even want to talk about a new contract with them. So it just might make sense for them where their franchise is heading for them to just let him go. There's been a lot of talk about him potentially coming to Chicago. A lot of people don't know this. He does actually live in Chicago when he's not obviously on the Texans.
Loves Portillo's.
Loves Portillo's. Loves Chicago pizza. His wife is a professional athlete in Chicago. For those of you who don't know, that she's on the women's soccer team. What is it? The Red Stars?
The Red Stars. Yep.
Yeah. So don't they actually play at Soldier Field too? I think they do.
They may or may not. Not 100% sure. I know they're usually pretty good though. So
yeah, I think they are known to be pretty good in women's soccer. But so he actually would have a lot of interest in coming to the Bears just solely for that reason. He also talks about how much he loves the city, how much he actually respects the franchise. He's talked about it pretty extensively on Twitter. It seems like it would make a lot of sense from his perspective to come to the Bears. A lot of Bears fans are saying, hey, maybe wouldn't make a whole bunch of sense from the Bears perspective. I think it would. I think adding J.J. Watt, if you get a veteran quarterback, that's my one thing. If you get a veteran quarterback, I think adding in J.J. Watt, obviously he would play the same position that Robert Quinn plays, presumably in our offense or in our defense. But maybe he can go ahead and you can throw him inside, play a little bit of D end in the 4-3, in the 3-4, which is a different position than the D end in the 4-3. We don't need to get into that, but maybe kind of move him around the line. He'd get you more production than Robert Quinn. Just adding another pass rush element. I mean, someone that J.J. Watt, while he is consistently injured and not getting any younger, he is still a very productive player and a very dominant player.
Yeah, I think he'd be an intriguing pickup for the Bears. I do think there's a possibility that he could get moved with Watson, that he could end up being part of that. Don't want to necessarily get into that too much. But as far as the fit for the Bears, I could see him, fitting in well. I think he complements Mac in a decent way. They both like to power rush and utilize their strength, but they each kind of bring in their own wrinkle. And of course with J.J. Watt, you're going to get those crazy good pass deflections, which, honestly, that can really kill the momentum for a quarterback to have it constantly knocked down at the ground. We've seen him kind of score a couple miraculous, pick sixes. He's one hell of a football player. His talents extend beyond the defensive line.
Hall of Famer for sure.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. He's been stuck on some bad teams, and his interest should be outside of Houston. It's a team that's trending downward, and he's at the part of his career where if he wants to win anything, he kind of needs to, find that winning team and join it. I think that at the right cost, and as someone that kind of comes on, I don't think he's going to be an every down player at all, but he'd be a heck of a person to be able to roll out there on third down or, some certain strategical situations like a second down or, certain situations where they know that his attributes are going to play in well. So, he's also a good run stopper, but, pass heavy situations, he's going to be a good person to have around. So if you're able to get him on a decent contract, he's certainly not in the prime of his career. He's probably going to need a decent amount of money, but nothing crazy. It'd at least be something fun to talk about. It's exciting. It'd be cool to have.
I think he'd actually take a lower contract to be in Chicago. It would just make sense given his current, living in Chicago, make it a lot more convenient. Other people are saying it might make sense for him to go to the Packers. That could make sense too. I think that he could be good with Zadarius Smith. I don't know if the Packers would be all that interested in that personally. They don't seem to be in all that big of a rush to win a championship. But by the way, also, I want to give a quick shout out to Brian Gutekunst, who says he has no regrets on drafting Jordan Love, which is just the most comically terrible statement I've ever heard. And man, once Aaron Rodgers leaves that building, they are going to have a mess on their hands. But anyways, with J.J. Watt, I think it'd be good. I think it'd be good. I think it'd be a good add. And the last thing that I want to add with that is that I think what would be so beneficial for him is that you could potentially take Mac or Quinn off the field more frequently.
Yes.
To get them to rest up and get fresher pass rushers. It'd be pretty nice. Truthfully, it'd be pretty nice.
Yeah, and that's kind of the luxury that, you know, the Eagles had when they won their Super Bowl, was that they were constantly rotating those defensive linemen and keeping them fresh.
Hey guys, like our video, subscribe, and check out our bi-weekly podcast on Apple Podcasts. Thanks.